starting the movie with a young boy, named Tar, who's working in a doll manufacturing factory. Just then the music he was playing in his tab stops and he receives a message in a social media profile. As soon as he sees the message, he gets afraid and starts begging for forgiveness. He shouts so loud that his boss Ko and his helper Maud arrive there and ask him about why he's making noise. When Tar doesn't reply, Ko scolds him and orders him to get back to work. Before leaving, Ko also tells his workers to inform his wife Juju about his meeting with a client. After Ko leaves, Mondi clarks Tar about why he was yelling before. After a bit of a pause, Tar starts narrating to him a story named The Third Night. The scene that shifts to the past, where Tar is going to his friend Rang's funeral. It's the third night after Rang has died in a bike accident. They're two of Frank's friends, Ming and Jihab, are watching a funny video that they made with Rang's funeral photo. Meanwhile, Tar also arrives there and calls his mom, telling her that he'll return home soon. Tar is then approached by his friends along with Frank's girlfriend Koi and her present boyfriend Bozo. Min gets angry at Bozo for hitting on Koi, but Tar stops them from fighting right then. Tar notices Rang standing in front of his funeral photo and gets frightened. Later the group talks about distributing the money from Rang's bank account. Soon we're shown a flashback where Rang finds his girlfriend Koi cheating on him with Bozo. He starts fighting with Bozo, but his friends stop him, though Bozo and Koi manage to escape in their motorbike. Rang follows them midway. He tries to contact Koi, but she cuts his call short. Angry, Frank speeds up his motorbike, but unfortunately collides with a road divider and dies on the spot. The scene shifts back to the present, where the group makes a plan to search for Rang's missing phone and his ATM card to steal money from his account. Bozo asks Tar to go to Rang's cabin and search for his card, while the rest of them go to the accident spot and find his phone soon. Tar enters Rang's cabin and starts searching for the card. While he's searching, he notices some paranormal activities going around in the room. Suddenly Frank's spirit appears in the room. Tar notices him and tries to escape, but passes out in the process on gaining consciousness. Tar finds Rang sitting in front of him. Scared, he tells Rang that he admires him and has never thought bad about him. Frank then asks Tar about why he wants to take money from his account. In reply, Tar reveals that he just wants the money to cure his mother's illness. Hearing this, Frank's spirit allows Tar to take out the money he needs, but also suggests him to not get ready. After this, Brian again wakes up and realizes that everything was his dream. He also finds Rang's ATM card lying beside him. He picks the card and drives towards the accident spot to meet his friends. On the other hand, Bozo, Koi and Ming and Jayab reached the accident spot and started searching for Rang's mobile phone. The force spread in 4 different directions. Meanwhile, Koi gets a call from Rang. She tries to decline the call but fails. Just then she notices an injured Rang approaching her. Rang grabs Koi and vomits blood all over her face, causing her to scream in horror. Suddenly Bozo arrives there and wakes Koi up, revealing that whatever Koi saw was just her vision. Bozo then asks Koi to get on his motorbike and drives her away. The other 2 boys notice Bozo leaving with Koi and assume that Bozo has found Rang's mobile phone. They prepare to leave, but at the same time Cheap gets a call from Rang. While they are discussing whether to pick the call or not, a truck approaches towards them and hits them hard, killing them instantly. In the next scene, Bozo and Koi are on a motorbike driving away from the place. Suddenly someone grabs Bozo from behind and forces him to get into an accident. Bozo wakes up and lunges towards Koi, removing his helmet before he can reach up to Koi and wake her up. The spirit of Rang arrives there and chokes Bozo. Later, Rang forcefully pushes Bozo to the spinning tire of the motorbike and eliminates him. After some time, Koi gains her consciousness and finds Bozo dead. Just then Tar arrives there and asks Koi to join him. Unfortunately, when Koi walks towards Tar, she gets hit by a fast-moving car and dies horrified. Then takes Rang's mobile phone from her and escapes. The next day, Tar arrives at an ATM to withdraw some money from Rang's account. At first, he enters the amount he needs for his mother's treatment and gets it easily. But when he gets greedy and enters more, a message pops up informing him that the password for the account has been changed. Tar freaks out, yelling that he hasn't changed the password, but right then Rang's spirit arrives in front of him. The scene then shifts back to the present where Tar is now narrating the story to Maud as they are talking hungry. Cal arrives there and asks Tar to bring some food for him after Tar leaves. He sits with Maud, who is making the upper part of a doll designed as a nun. Maud asks Cal about why is Clyde wants the nun designed as a doll. In reply, Cal tells him that the nun is not an ordinary one, but very powerful. After this he starts narrating the story of the nun. The second story is called The Covenant. At the beginning of the story, a lady named Lennon is telling her friends about a nun who worked in a church. She mentions that the nun has devoted her life for God and was also known as the Bride of the God. Lennon tells them that one day the nun fell in love with an outsider and started playing the piano. The nun soon realized that she made a huge mistake by betraying God, feeling guilty. She picked a shotgun and shot herself. Even after her death, the body of the nun continued playing the piano. At last, Lennon mentions that to make a wish to the headless nun, one must perform a ritual and complete it. She also stresses that if one isn't able to complete the ritual, he or she will be dead. In the following scene, another girl, Kim, proposes their girlfriend Maya, and she accepts. In fact, all three, Kim, Maya and Lennon, are lesbians. While Kim and Maya are enjoying their time, Lennon arrives there, interrupting their romantic moment. Afterwards, when Kim opens her locker, she finds a headless pigeon inside. Seeing this, she gets terrified and falls on the floor from the locker. She also finds Lennon's bracelet and assumes that she is responsible for it. Following this, she goes straight to Lennon and yells at her. However, Lennon replies that she has done nothing. Here we get to know that in the past Lennon and Kim were good friends. However, they started drifting apart when Lennon started liking him but later was in love with Mai. In the next scene, Kim goes to the church to perform the ritual for the nun, try to get love from Mai. Unfortunately, Kim is unable to complete the ritual as the piano gets stuck. When she checks the piano, she finds a dead body inside. Afraid, she runs away from there and goes straight to Mai, informing her about the incomplete ritual she performed. Hearing this, Mai suggests they go back to the church at 3 a.m. Later, the deal will reach the church and start the ritual. At the same time, Lennon arrives there and Kim asks her to leave. But to her surprise, Lennon reveals that she admires lovers and she devised the whole plan against Scam as she betrayed her before. While they're talking, the nun suddenly appears there and drags Mai into the dark. They both try to save Mai, but the nun traps Lennon, decapitates Scam by slamming her head in the piano. Horrified by the incident, Mai hurriedly gets out of the place in her car. But while she's driving, she hits a girl walking on the road. The girl is none other than Koi from the first story. Later, Maya also gets in an accident and dies. The scene then shifts to the church where the dead body of Kim has started playing piano and did not accompany her. Lennon, who's witnessing all this, gets horrified when the scene shifts to the present. Lennon is among the group of people who have come to the doll factory to take the nun's doll. After seeing the doll, Lennon gets so frightened that she leaves from there without taking it. As a result, Ko gets angry and goes inside. Later, while Maud is doing his work, he gets to know about Juju's car accident via Tar's tap. He tries to tell this news to Ko, but suddenly Juju arrives there. Maud then understands that this is Juju's spirit who has approached them. He again tries to inform Ko about Juju's accident, but fails. Because of this, he leaves the tab in front of Ko and walks away. After some time, Maud returns to save Ko from Juju but finds him lying on the ground unconscious. Maud mourns over his owner's death, but suddenly Ko gets up, scaring the life out of Maud. Ko then reveals that he was just acting, as he also saw the news about Juju's accident. Soon they both try to get out of the place, but Juju stops them. When they try to go upstairs, Juju grabs Ko by his leg. Despite this, Ko lands an impressive kick in Juju and escapes. Right then, Ko gets a call and mistakenly drops his phone. When Ko goes to retrieve it, Juju picks up the call and finds out about his legal affair with another woman. Enraged, she attacks him, but Maud somehow rescues him. After this, the two rush to room and lock themselves inside. Inside the room, Ko finds the property papers where it's mentioned that Juju has left $10 million worth of property for him. Seeing this, Ko starts to cry. He then goes downstairs and apologizes to Juju for cheating on her. Juju replies that she's not dead, but he soon will be surprised. Ko asks her about the car accident and Juju tells him that she had lost her car in gambling. At the same time, Tar comes there and directly goes to the shop. The trio try to call him but he doesn't respond. They follow inside to check on him, but find blood spilled on the floor. In the meantime, the niche of a bike accident pops up on Tar's tab. The trio immediately gets afraid as the crash bike belongs to Tar. They then understand that Tar is dead and the one in front of him is none other than his spirit. Just then do you notice that Tar is about to burn the whole factory. In an act of desperation, Maud gives Tar his mother's photo and asks him to leave, but Ura doesn't listen to him. Tar continues to light the fire and leaves the house to burn. Surprisingly, Maud starts laughing tediously and informs Ko that he was the one who had taken Zara's spike and found Juju in front of the bar. Kelsey mentions that he gave her a lift, but met with an accident which killed both of them at the same time. Cozy is Tar dragging his body and realizes that he was already dead when he was lying on the floor earlier. In the last scene, Tar also burns the money which he had with John from Rank's account, because he has finally understood that greed is not good. When he's about to leave, a gas cylinder inside the house explodes and kills him. The movie ends as Rank's spirit arrives there and takes Tar on a bike ride. Thanks for watching.